It was a Monday morning in October when Sarah Chen felt the sting. She was opening a package, one of those cardboard boxes with the reinforced tape that always fights back. The tape won. A sharp edge sliced into the pad of her left index finger, just below the fingernail. It was tiny, barely a millimeter. She watched a single bead of blood well up, wiped it with a tissue, and put on a band-aid. She had no idea that she had just been infected with one of the most aggressive bacteria on Earth. By Thursday, Sarah Chen was dead. This is the story of how a paper cut became a death sentence, and why the bacteria that killed her is still out there, waiting for the next tiny opening. This is Plague Diaries. Every infection has a story, every outbreak a beginning. And this one begins with a wound so small, Sarah almost didn't notice it. Necrotizing fasciitis. The medical name doesn't capture the horror, neither does the media nickname flesh-eating bacteria. Both are too clinical, too cartoonish. The reality is worse. Necrotizing fasciitis is a bacterial infection that destroys the tissue beneath the skin, specifically the fascia, the connective tissue that surrounds muscles, nerves, and blood vessels. It spreads fast. It spreads deep. And it doesn't care how the bacteria got in. A paper cut, a shaving nick, a bug bite, a surgical incision, a blister from new shoes. The entry point can be microscopic. The bacteria don't need much, just an opening, just a way in. The most common culprit is Group A Streptococcus, the same family of bacteria that causes strep throat. But while strep throat is annoying, necrotizing fasciitis is lethal. The bacteria release toxins that destroy tissue, trigger massive inflammation, and cause septic shock. Your own immune system becomes part of the problem. The inflammatory response is so extreme that it cuts off blood flow to the infected area, killing the tissue faster than the bacteria themselves. It's a cascade, a death spiral, and it can move at centimeters per hour. Let's go back to Sarah Chen. Monday morning, the paper cut. She cleans it, bandages it, forgets about it, goes to work, comes home, makes dinner, goes to bed. Tuesday morning, the finger hurts. Not the cut, the whole finger. It's swollen, red, warm to the touch. Sarah thinks it's infected. She cleans it again, applies antibiotic ointment, takes some ibuprofen. She'll keep an eye on it. Tuesday afternoon, the redness has spread. It's not just the finger anymore. The back of her hand is flushing pink, then red. The pain is getting worse. Not just sore, but throbbing, deep, like something is chewing on her from the inside. Tuesday evening, Sarah goes to urgent care. The doctor looks at her hand, prescribes oral antibiotics, tells her to come back if it gets worse. The doctor has seen 1,000 infected cuts. This looks like another one. It isn't. Here's the thing about necrotizing fasciitis that separates it from ordinary infections. The pain is wrong. The pain is out of proportion to what you can see. A small red area that feels like someone is crushing your hand in a vice. A tiny cut that makes you want to scream. Pain that keeps getting worse despite painkillers. By Wednesday morning, Sarah knew something was seriously wrong. The redness had spread up her forearm in streaks. Her hand was ballooning. The pain was so intense she couldn't think straight. She went to the emergency room. The ER doctor took one look and called a surgeon. Necrotizing fasciitis is a surgical emergency. Antibiotics alone can't save you. They can't penetrate the dead tissue fast enough. The only treatment is to cut, to remove every piece of infected flesh, to chase the bacteria down to their leading edge, to cut until you find healthy tissue that bleeds. It's called debridement. And it's as brutal as it sounds. Sarah went into surgery at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. The surgeons made their first incision on her hand, expecting to find a localized infection. What they found was a massacre. The fascia beneath her skin was gray and dead, dissolving into liquid. The bacteria had been working for 48 hours, and they had destroyed everything in their path. The surgeons cut and cut and cut. They removed the infected fascia from her hand, then her wrist, then her forearm. The infection was racing up her arm, following the lymphatic channels, and they were chasing it with scalpels. By the time they found healthy tissue, Sarah had lost most of the skin and fascia from her left hand to her elbow. The muscles were intact, for now, but the blood supply was compromised. The hand might not survive even after all that. She was moved to the ICU, intubated, on massive doses of IV antibiotics. The doctors had done everything right. They had recognized the infection, acted fast, cut aggressively. It wasn't enough. To understand why Sarah died, you have to understand what necrotizing fasciitis does to the body beyond the obvious tissue destruction. The bacteria release exotoxins, chemical weapons that trigger a systemic inflammatory response. Your immune system goes into overdrive. Cytokines flood your bloodstream. Your blood vessels dilate. Blood pressure drops. Organs start to fail. This is septic shock. Sarah's kidneys failed first, then her liver, then her lungs. Her body was drowning in its own immune response, and there was nothing the doctors could do to stop it. By Thursday morning, she was in multi-organ failure. Her family was called. They had to make a decision about life support. Sarah Chen died at 11:47 a.m. on Thursday, 72 hours after a paper cut. She was 34 years old. Here's what the numbers tell us about necrotizing fasciitis. The CDC estimates between 700 and 1,200 cases per year in the United States. That sounds rare, and it is. You're more likely to be struck by lightning than to get flesh-eating bacteria. But if you do get it, the odds are terrifying. Mortality rates range from 20% to 80%, depending on how quickly it's diagnosed and treated. The average is around 30%, meaning nearly 1 in 3 people who develop necrotizing fasciitis will die, even with prompt surgery and antibiotics. The survivors often face amputations, massive tissue loss, disfigurement, years of reconstructive surgery, PTSD from the experience, and the bacteria are still out there. Group A, Streptococcus, lives on human skin and in the throat. Up to 20% of people carry it without knowing. Most of the time, it causes nothing. Strep throat, impetigo, minor infections. But sometimes, no one knows exactly why, it turns deadly. If there's a lesson in Sarah Chen's story, it's this: know the warning signs, because speed is everything. If you have a wound, any wound, and you develop these symptoms, go to an emergency room immediately. Not urgent care, not your primary doctor. The ER pain that is out of proportion to the visible injury, rapidly spreading redness or swelling, skin that turns purple, black, or develops blisters, fever, chills, vomiting, confusion, or altered mental state. Tell them you suspect necrotizing fasciitis. Use the words, make them listen. The window for survival is measured in hours, not days. Every hour of delay increases mortality by 10%. If you wait until you see blackened skin or blisters, it may already be too late. Prevention is simpler. Clean every wound, no matter how small. Watch for changes. Trust your body when something feels wrong. Sarah thought she was being dramatic. She wasn't. Sarah Chen's case is not unique. Every year, people die from necrotizing fasciitis that started with a minor injury. A gardener who got a thorn in her thumb, a construction worker with a splinter, a child with a scraped knee. The bacteria don't care who you are. They just need an opening. Group A Streptococcus has been with humans for thousands of years. It evolved alongside us. It learned how to exploit our vulnerabilities, our cuts, our weaknesses, the tiny breaches in our armor. And it's still learning, still adapting, still waiting. So the next time you get a paper cut, a shaving nick, a tiny wound you barely notice, remember Sarah Chen. Clean it, watch it, respect it. Because sometimes the smallest openings let in the deadliest things. If you survived this episode, subscribe, because the next one's worse. This has been Plague Diaries.